They said the black ship was gone. But the void never forgets its ghosts. Admiral Lysa Raine had grown up hearing stories of it. The unmarked vessel that appeared on dying battlefields, turned impossible wars, then vanished without trace. The Directorate called it a myth. The aliens called it a curse. And humanity whispered its name like a prayer. Now, standing on the bridge of the UHS Vindicator, Lysa stared at a set of coordinates that should not exist. They'd appeared inside her ship's navigation core, encrypted under an authorization code older than the Empire itself. The sender's tag. Black Ship, R. Vance. Her crew was silent, waiting for her order. The only sound was the low hum of the ship's reactor and the faint tap of her gloved fingers against the console. "Helm," she said finally. "Align to the coordinates. No transponder. Silent run." "Ma'am, those coordinates point to the Null Belt. That's dead space. Nothing survives out there. Nothing we know of," she replied. The Vindicator slipped into the void. The stars stretched into silver threads. Time blurred. Then black. Total blackout. Every system flickered dead. No light. No sound. Just the pulse of her heartbeat. "Report! Power drain, Admiral. Everything's offline." And then she saw it. Through the forward viewport, something vast emerged from the dark, darker than space itself, its silhouette swallowing the starlight. The black ship. Its surface pulsed faintly blue, veins of energy moving beneath the armor like breath. For a moment, Lysa forgot how to breathe. "That's impossible," whispered her comms officer. "It disappeared a century ago." Her earpiece crackled, static, then a voice, calm and human but impossibly old. "This is Commander Rhea Vance, Terran Black Operations. Identify yourself." Lysa froze. "Commander Vance? You're supposed to be dead?" The voice interrupted. "So was Earth once. So were we all." Her console flickered to life. A data packet appeared, marked with Directorate clearance levels that hadn't existed in 100 years. Inside it, a single message. "Helix Protocol reactivated. Memory unlock Phase 2. Lysa's blood ran cold. She'd read about Helix, the forbidden neuropreservation project. The one that almost destroyed the First Empire. "What do you want from us?" she asked. "It's not about want," Rhea said. "It's about need. The galaxy's forgotten who built it. And it's starting to remember." Suddenly, warning sirens screamed. The Vindicator's sensors picked up movement, dozens of signals emerging from the dark, approaching fast. "Contact! Multiple unknown ships closing." "They're not unknown." Rhea's voice came again, quieter now, almost sorrowful. "They're the ones we left behind." The stars flickered, and for a split second, Lysa saw faces in the static. Human faces. Thousands of them, whispering in unison through the void. "Welcome back, Black Ship. We never meant to become ghosts. We only wanted to survive." The Black Ship loomed before them, a silent monument to everything humanity wasn't supposed to remember. Its hull was scarred, parts of it fused with what looked like alien biotech. The surface shimmered faintly, like oil catching starlight, alive with a pulse that wasn't mechanical. Admiral Lysa Raine felt her stomach twist. "What is that thing?" she whispered. Commander Vance's voice echoed through the static again, calmer now, too calm. "A grave. A cradle. Depends on who you ask." The Vindicator drifted closer. Lysa's tactical officer read the scans, eyes wide. "Ma'am, the hull composition matches no known alloy. And the energy readings, they're biological." "You're saying that ship's alive?" "I'm saying it's aware." The lights flickered across the bridge, dimming to a faint amber. Suddenly, every monitor showed the same image, an old Earth flag, tattered, burning, overlaid with a sequence of binary pulses. It wasn't random. It was Morse code. "Open the door." Lysa hesitated. Then, with a breath that felt like a leap off a cliff, she gave the order. "Docking clamps, engage." The Vindicator latched onto the black ship's hull with a deep metallic groan. The airlock opened with a hiss, revealing a corridor that stretched into absolute darkness. The air was still, too still, as if the place were holding its breath. Inside, everything was wrong. The walls pulsed faintly, veins of light running beneath a metallic skin. Human architecture, but twisted, grown into itself. And in the distance, faint echoes, like whispers beneath static. Admiral Raine. Vance's voice came again, this time from the corridor ahead. Welcome aboard. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman in tattered black armor, her skin pale, eyes faintly luminescent. Her face, older, but unmistakable, matched the portraits in the archives. Commander Rhea Vance. You're alive, Lysa breathed. Alive is a generous word, Rhea said with a faint, sad smile. We were the first Helix subjects. We uploaded our minds, thought we could preserve humanity's best. We were wrong. Behind her, other figures appeared, translucent, flickering. Some human, some only half. Digital ghosts bound to the ship's core. When the program failed, they sealed us here, Rhea continued. Said it was mercy. Said we'd fade quietly. But the ship learned. It grew. It rebuilt us. It became us. Lysa felt every hair on her neck stand up. And now? Rhea looked past her, toward the stars outside. Now the galaxy burns again. And it called for soldiers who never stopped fighting. The ship rumbled, a deep vibration through the floor. Outside, the approaching contacts accelerated, their signatures sharpening. Alien vessels, old war designs from the Dominion, ships that shouldn't exist anymore. They followed you here, Rhea said softly. Good. We needed a test. Her voice turned colder, mechanical undertones threading through her words. Admiral, the black ship is waking up. And it remembers how to kill. Outside the viewport, the void lit up with blue fire as the black ship's eyes opened, and the stars themselves seemed to recoil. Some machines obey their makers. Others avenge them. The first blast came without warning, a ripple in the void, silent but lethal. One of the Dominion warships simply folded in half, crushed by invisible pressure before erupting into blue fire. The shockwave rattled the Vindicator, sending the crew sprawling. What was that? Shouted the helm officer. No energy signature detected. Replied tactical, pale-faced. It didn't fire anything. Space itself bent. Admiral Lysa gripped the railing. Through the viewport, the black ship moved with terrifying grace. No thrusters, no engines, just flowing through the void like it belonged there. The Dominion ships opened fire, lancing beams of plasma and ion bursts, all swallowed by the dark. The energy vanished into the black ship's hull like rain on ocean water. It's absorbing their attacks, Lysa murmured. Not absorbing, said Rhea quietly, her voice coming from everywhere at once, through comms, through the hull, through the hum of the air itself. Remembering. The black ship pulsed once. Then, in an instant, it released the stored energy, refracted through its hull, twisted by some unknown field. What had been a dozen plasma bolts became a storm of black lightning that ripped through the Dominion fleet like paper. All contacts destroyed. Whispered tactical. Every single one. The bridge fell silent. The only sound was the low, rhythmic pulse of the black ship's core, like a heartbeat under the hull. Lysa turned toward Rhea, her holographic form flickering faintly beside her. What are you now? Rhea looked at her, eyes glowing with a light that wasn't human anymore. A weapon. A warning. A promise. To who? To whoever forgets what humanity can become when cornered. Suddenly, alarms screamed again. But this time, they weren't external. The Vindicator's own systems were being overridden. Code flooded through the ship, old Terran encryption keys, military grade, dating back centuries. Admiral, the ship's AI is being compromised. Rhea! Stop this! You came here for truth, Rhea said, her voice now merging with the ship's deep rumble. Here it is, the Helix Project never ended. You're standing inside its final experiment. The lights on the bridge shifted from white to blue. The walls seemed to breathe. Crew members stared in horror as every console began flashing the same message. Helix, Phase 3, Ascension Protocol online. Lysa grabbed the nearest console, her voice sharp. Rhea, what does that mean? It means we're waking up more than a ship. Rhea whispered. We're waking them. Through the viewport, the wreckage of the destroyed Dominion fleet began to twist, debris reassembling, reshaping, merging into patterns too precise to be random. Metal, flesh, and data bending together. The black ship's core blazed brighter. The ones who died in Helix. Rhea said softly, almost reverently. They're still in the code. And now, they remember. As the black ship's pulse intensified, the broken Dominion ships rose again, no longer alien, no longer human, but something else entirely. And in the silence of space, a single voice echoed through every frequency. Humanity does not die. It evolves. They thought immortality was about living forever. They never understood it was about not being forgotten. The black ship hung in the dark, glowing faintly, like the dying ember of a god's heart. Around it drifted the remnants of the Dominion fleet, but the wreckage no longer floated aimlessly. It moved with intent. It moved with memory. Lysa watched in silent awe as shattered hulls fused into new forms, metal folding, wiring rethreading itself, guided by an unseen hand. What rose from the wreckage wasn't a fleet, nor a weapon, but something between them. A network. Rhea, Lysa whispered. What have you done? The holographic commander turned toward her. Her face flickered, a blend of humanity and data, of grief and resolve. What we were built for. What they buried us for. The black ship's core expanded, glowing until its entire hull became transparent. Within it, Lysa could see forms suspended, human silhouettes, thousands of them, motionless yet radiant with light. The Helix subjects, Rhea said softly. All the soldiers who volunteered to become more than human. Their minds still live within the ship's lattice. Waiting. Watching. Learning. Lysa's heart pounded. You merged them with machines? No, Rhea replied. We freed them from them. The lights dimmed as the ship's voice deepened, no longer Rhea's alone, but a chorus. We are the memory of humanity's wars. The voice of those who would not surrender. The fire that refused to die. Then the ship moved, fast enough to warp light itself. Every Dominion signature across the sector flared on sensors, and then went dark. One after another. Perfect synchronization. Admiral, her comms officer stammered. The ship just transmitted itself. Across subspace. It's duplicating. Lysa stared. You're spreading? Not spreading, said Rhea, smiling faintly now. Returning. You call it resurrection. We call it duty. The bridge's windows flooded with light as hundreds of ghostly vessels appeared, spectral outlines of human warships long lost to history. They surrounded the Vindicator, every hull etched with old Terran insignias, glowing blue. These ships, they're gone. They were destroyed centuries ago, whispered a crewman. Gone? Rhea asked, stepping closer, her form stabilizing as the light grew. No. You can't destroy the will to fight. You can only forget it, for a while. The voices within the ship grew louder, clearer, thousands of them speaking in unison, human voices layered across the void. We are the lost. The forsaken. The first and the last defenders. We are the black ship. Lysa's console blazed with new data. The transmission wasn't just broadcasting, it was rewriting. Every Terran ship across the fleet was receiving the same upgrade, the same awakening. Rhea, you'll start another war, Lysa shouted. No, Rhea said. We'll finish the old one. The ship turned toward the galactic core, where the Dominion's ancient capital once slept beneath layers of dust and arrogance. Every resurrected vessel aligned. Admiral Raine, Rhea said, her voice both human and divine. History calls for witnesses. You can either watch or join us. Lysa took a trembling breath. Around her, her crew waited, terrified, awed, loyal. She straightened her coat and spoke the words that would etch her name into eternity. "Helm, follow the black ship." The void erupted in light as the fleet jumped, not through hyperspace, but through something older, stranger, born of memory and vengeance. And as the galaxy trembled under the weight of returning ghosts, one truth became undeniable. Humanity had never left. It had only been waiting to remember who it was.